Hello, my name is Emily Vernon, and I am in my final semester of UT Austin's MSIS program. For my capstone project, I worked with Texas Digital Library to better understand academic institutions' use of repositories, which store scholarly output created by the university community and promote open access. This project piqued my interest for a few reasons. First, I attended the University of Texas as an undergraduate and often heard of the university's repository called Texas ScholarWorks, but I didn't quite understand that it was in fact something I could engage with until graduate school. After writing an undergraduate thesis and coming to understand what Texas ScholarWorks is, I wished that my undergraduate departments had pointed me in the direction of the repository. At the time, I would have enthusiastically placed my work in there, especially considering I've used parts of that thesis as writing samples. Second, I currently work for an academic journal and have become fascinated by scholarly publishing and access policies. Open access permissions align closely with the reason I, and many other librarians for that matter, entered this field, and I have accordingly been interested in its use at the university level. As a result of this research, I recommend a few big picture action items for repository managers' considerations. There are likely institutional and technological limitations that necessitate institutional modifications to these recommendations, and there are certainly more recommendations that can and will be made in a forthcoming written report. But looking at the big picture, here are two of the most important recommendations that will be set forth. Number one is that although the repository is unable to be integrated into the library catalog at this time, making the repository accessible from a centralized homepage can promote its use. A great example of this can be found on UNT Health Science Center's website, which is pictured here. Taking this approach centralizes the repository and could potentially take a step out of the search process for students. Enhancing discoverability of the repository itself will inevitably lead to greater familiarity with it, even if at a basic level, and could potentially promote greater use and understanding of the repository in a manner that requires little additional outreach effort on behalf of the librarian. Secondly, each library constructs its own policies surrounding the repository, but it may be beneficial to craft a policy specifically surrounding the inclusion of undergraduate work. Elements to consider include policies for taking down undergraduate work if requested, as well as the type of work to be included. This is likely best constructed in conjunction with faculty members, some of whom are hesitant to publish student work in this manner due to the longevity of the repository. Later this month, a report will appear online with additional recommendations and details. But in the meantime, thank you for listening to this poster talk, and please feel free to reach out if you have any questions or concerns.